Alright guys, you know what this is. Been watching all you guys training birds. Got them out to 40, 50, 60 miles already. And I'm here at a mile. But nonetheless, we got them going. Today's actually my second toss. I've already tossed them from here yesterday, and it took them about 23 minutes. I had two early birds, one at 12 minutes and one at 13 minutes. But the remainder came in as a nice big group at around 23 minutes. And you can see there's a lot of birds here. I still have 92 pigeons because I bred a lot and I got a lot of birds sent to me. And we lost a few. It's kind of been an uphill struggle this year. I've had a little bit of respiratory issues. I've had some canker issues. I had a few birds have young bird sickness, so it's kind of been an uphill battle. But I think we got them going now. I think they're ready to go. Again, this is the second toss. I'm not going to film me releasing them, but I will film when I get home. I'm back, like I said, at the mile. This is the school, or behind the school. It's been a pretty good spot so far. It's nice and open. There are some wires, but nobody really bothers me here. And it is about 6:30 in the morning, so I don't see there being an issue. But we'll give them a few more minutes here, guys, and we'll send them up and we'll see how they do. I'll catch you guys back when I get to the house. All right, guys, we're back home. It's been roughly 2 minutes because it's only a mile down the road, and I don't see any birds yet. Honestly, I'd like to have seen them here by now. This is their second toss at the mile. But, I mean, we'll take what we get, right? If they're not here, they're not here. I'll give them a few minutes. It's been roughly 4 minutes now since I let them up, and they did fly in the right direction right away, but that doesn't mean anything. Also, I wanted to mention the early birds that come home early from a toss. Don't put too much thought into that. I've had plenty of times, year after year, early birds come home on tosses and they end up being no good in the races. I don't know why they come home early versus the rest. I think it's because maybe they break away from the group and they just kind of fly home instead of flying around in circles because there's more dummies in the big group that are flying around. But don't put too much thought on that. Like I said, in my first year, I picked 5 or 6 that were always my top birds on tosses. I picked them for one of the big races that I had to pay to get into, and it was a total letdown. Those birds were garbage. By garbage, I mean they were no good for racing. So don't overthink it. If you got a really good one that comes home early every single time, I'd be surprised if he's your better racer. But that's just an observation I've made. Like I said, we'll give them a few more minutes. I have probably 40 minutes before I have to head off to work. So, oh, there they go. That's actually not bad. Whoa, what time is it now? I'm filming at the same time, so I'm thinking maybe 2 minutes since I got home. 6 minutes from a mile. Not the greatest, but they did come from behind me. So I trained them that way, and they popped up right behind me. So I think they overflew a little bit. Maybe I didn't notice them, even though there's 92 birds up there. I'm looking around now, I don't see a single bird. So it's easy for them to just fly out of sight. There they go. So that's not bad. I think I'll decide tonight whether or not I'm going to take them back at the mile or jump them to 3. I think I may just jump them to 3. They're doing pretty good. You can see they're coming in a nice big group. 92 is what I have. And one quick tip, when I basket my birds, I count the birds. So let me rephrase that, I guess. I don't count individual birds until I get to a certain number. I'll put 20 birds in a basket and I know that's what I have. And that's how I knew I had 92 today. Now, without having to worry about it, tomorrow I'll count them again. And if I have 91, I know I lost one. If I have 93, I know I picked one up. So it just helps out a little bit, instead of going into the loft at night and trying to count every single bird on the perch, and then they start flying around or landing on the floor or trying to jump in the aviary. Just count them in the morning. When you get your baskets out, 20 birds in a basket, that's the number you got. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I didn't realize I'm just filming and walking around in circles. But so far, they've done okay. I can't complain, really. It's been, like I said, an uphill battle for me with birds and sickness this year. I think I got them right. One thing I wanted to mention, because of the respiratory, I put some real fine wire, basically just like screen that you have at your home, or screen doors, on the windows to cut down on the draft. I do have fans pulling air out, and I think maybe I had that on too high, thinking it'd help out, and it caused the draft because I had a few birds with one eye colds, and it's been a mess. Honestly, it's been a mess. Other than some of the heavier diseases, I pretty much had everything this year. And you know me, I don't like to medicate. I will give my birds something for respiratory. I believe in that. But apart from that, they get, apple cider vinegar, a little bit of garlic, plenty of probiotic. That's pretty much it, to be honest, guys. The birds that don't make it. I hate to sound cruel, but it's my belief. You can go ahead and medicate birds individually or as a group, but just do me a favor. For those birds you're putting that extra effort in, just write their band number down, and at the end of the season, tell me where they're at. You'll be surprised if any of them are left. I mean, you know how it is, guys. The chances of having a good bird, or the chances of it being a good bird, are so slim. How much effort do you really want to put into that pigeon? But it's up to you. Whatever. If you find that, catching them individually and giving them pills or whatever the case is, if you find that logical, then do it. I mean, I'm just telling you from my experience. I'm not going to waste my time. If I have 92 birds and one bird gets sick, why would I medicate it? Why would I put any more effort into that pigeon? Now, if I had 10 birds and one got sick, I might go ahead and try to fix it because my team is small. But when you got so many, but whatever, you guys choose how to do whatever you guys want to do. Well, guys, we'll see if I get another one tomorrow at the 3 mile. If I'm that bold, they did well today, and they're still flying pretty good. So I think I'll bump in a 3 tomorrow. Either I'll end the video here or I'll pick it up at the 3 tomorrow. I'll decide. Nonetheless, guys, you'll see it when I post it. All right, guys. I left my tripod at home, so if it sounds like I'm yelling, I'm really not. I'm just making sure my voice is heard. I did bring them to the 3 mile station. You can see I found a really nice spot. It's actually behind a movie theater. So, unfortunately, due to COVID, there's no movies going or no movies playing now, so it makes it nice and simple for me. I don't have to worry about anybody coming in. The reason I decided to go to the 3 mile stretch is the way the birds came home. They came home in good time, and then they flew around for another 20 minutes, half hour. So it definitely wasn't pushing the birds whatsoever. So I said, another mile or 2 miles isn't going to do much. I want to bump them. So we're at the 3. Even 3 miles, honestly, is not a lot. But I just want to see how they do. If they do well, then obviously we're going to go further. If they don't, we're going to bring them back to the same spot tomorrow, and hopefully they improve. Baby steps. The birds haven't really been ranging. I did get them to start flying a little bit while open lofting, and honestly, I've had good and bad experiences with open lofting. If you start too early, the hawks are too much of a problem early in the season, and I find that the birds develop bad habits. They'll stay out too long, they won't want to come in, something freaks them out, and they're flying for hours on end, and you think you're doing good, you think, oh man, I got 3 hours on the wing, and in reality they're just terrified to come down. But on the second note, open lofting at the right time can really bump the birds up. Once I got them off of the dark, and I took them off the dark a week early this year, I gave them a week of natural light, didn't bother them whatsoever. I let them out as much as they'd like. And after that first week is when I started to open loft. And immediately within the second day of open lofting, I noticed a good, probably half of the birds started ranging. They'd leave for 10, 15, 20 minutes at a time and come back, and that's perfect. That's what you want. So they had about 3 or 4 days of open lofting before the first mile toss. And I think that's perfect. You start too early, and like I said, in my experience, they develop bad habits, and you spend the rest of the season trying to correct those habits. But nonetheless, guys, we'll let them up here in a minute once they calm down. All right, guys, we're back home. No birds yet, and honestly, that's okay. I don't expect them to be here yet. It's been roughly about 15 minutes or so. And in reality, this is going to be a tough one for them. I just started training, and I've already tripled the distance. They definitely could make it home. They should be here by now on a good day, but I don't expect them to. Honestly, if I can get them home before I have to leave off to work, I think I'll be more than happy. And then we'll repeat this distance tomorrow. You guys can see my son decided to wake up at 6:30 in the morning when he heard his dad outside. So now we're both waiting for the birds to come home. Like I said, hopefully they make it back by the time that I have to leave to work, just so I can see them come in. I don't call them in quite yet. They basically still have open loft for another week or so, and it seems to help. Now we'll see how they do. I'll let you guys know the moment they come in. But like I said, I'm expecting at least 20-25 minutes of flight. Hopefully that would be good in my opinion at this time. So we'll see if they come in, guys. All right, guys, 20 minutes on the dot.
Yeah.
And they came exactly from there, and that's where I trained them a little bit off of there, but perfect timing. I mean, they came right where they should have come, and it looks like I have the entire group.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That's
there
good.
they go. Looks like I have them all, so that was okay. I'm not gonna jump them any further. Tomorrow I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna repeat the same 3 miles, and hopefully the time improves. And then if it does, Thursday I'll bump them up to about 5 miles. I only add a couple miles on Thursday instead of doubling it, which I normally do, but I think anywhere between 5 to 6 miles I think is sufficient. So, but no, they did okay. 20 minutes, and I get to watch them come home. I'll take that any day.
Yeah, that's very good.
That is very good. All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one.